I know you guys have read the title of this video and you're probably thinking, is this guy really complaining again? Is he really moaning when Ermac looks as good as he does? Is he really going to say something negative about NRS now? I hate to break it to you, but that's exactly what I'm about to do. Now look, I'm not here to ruin anyone's day. If you are genuinely excited about Ermac, you're genuinely excited to turn Mortal Kombat 1 on, please, by all means, go ahead. Don't think this is me telling you what to do. Don't think this is me trying to ruin your day. And don't think this is me trying to sway a bunch of people into my way of thinking. If people agree with me, they agree with me. And if they don't, they don't. This is just my opinion on it, what I was expecting and why I'm disappointed. Now, as you can probably tell from the title of the video, I am very disappointed, but I had certain expectations. Now, this is not NRS's fault. This is my fault based on the comments that I've read on Twitter, and the Ermac trailer made it look like something was going to be in the game and certain changes were coming, and that was an assumption on my end. And so that is where the disappointment is coming from. But even if those expectations weren't there, I think I would have still been disappointed. Now, before I get into it, before I break down my overall take on this Kombat Kast, I will say that Ermac is the best looking character in this game, and it's not even close. It's very, very clear that Ermac had a lot more time spent on him. I believe Dynasty did a video very recently where he showed off the vinyl for Mortal Kombat 1, I believe it was. And on that vinyl, you've got the base roster, and on that base roster, you can see Ermac. And I think a lot of people are assuming that Ermac was that missing character when the game launched, because the game had a very awkward looking roster when it first launched. It looked like a character was missing. I think it's safe to assume that was Ermac. 6 to 7 months on, and we can now see what a fully developed character looks like. And I do truly believe that Ermac is what a fully developed character looks like. You compare Ermac's moveset, the way Ermac moves, the way Ermac is animated, to somebody like Scorpion or somebody like Sub-Zero, and it is night and day. So, in terms of how Ermac looks, how they've developed the character, I have nothing but praise for him. I actually think this is one of the best iterations of Ermac, just aesthetically. I like the way he floats towards you. I like the very ghostly presence of Ermac. It makes sense since he is the amalgamation of several evil spirits, or good spirits. I'm not entirely sure what is intertwined there, but it looked evil to me. The addition of the mask is very welcome, and Ermac looks so complete that he looks like he can take you on without a cameo. And because he looks like he can take you on without a cameo, to me it comes across like you can play Ermac in several ways, so you don't have to be stuck with one specific cameo to fit Ermac like a lot of other characters in this game. But that remains to be seen. Obviously they showed him off, he looks very cool, but how he actually plays in a match, and if what I'm saying is true, is yet to be seen. So he's going to be out, I think today, maybe tomorrow, I'm not entirely sure. I'm sure we're going to see loads of match footage of him. I'm sure he's going to be in a lot of tournaments. He looks very powerful, so I'll be looking forward to seeing how he plays out in the coming days, weeks and months. Now then, just to break down the Kombat Kast, they did start off with invasions. Now I've said it before and I'll say it again, nobody cares about invasions. However, it does seem like they're trying to make some notable changes to it, so fair play. 7 months on is a little bit late, and even then the mode is so bad that you have to drastically change things to the point that it's unrecognizable, and I don't think they've actually done that here. I don't think there's any saving invasions, but you don't really want to beat a dead horse. I've said that the mode is crap. It's always going to be crap no matter what they do to it, but at least they're trying. A really important thing that they mentioned is that King of the Hill is now crossplay enabled. This should have been something that came out when crossplay was available on day one. Unfortunately it wasn't, but it's here now. I'm happy for the tournament organizers. I'm happy for the people that are on Xbox. I think the Xbox players felt very alienated. I think the PC players probably felt alienated as well, because I'm assuming most things take place on the PlayStation like they do with most fighting games. So I'm happy for those people. It sucks that it took this long. It sucks that we're 7 months into the game almost, and they've only just enabled it now, but it's here. May as well not beat a dead horse again, and just celebrate the fact that these content creators and these tournament organizers now get to do the things they always wanted to do. Then they showed off Shujinko. Shujinko has apparently got a lot of new moves. People are very excited. I'm not going to comment on this too much because Shujinko is a character I don't actually understand very well. I understand that he was underwhelming in the initial release of the game, but people seemed very excited, so it seems like a good thing to me. I haven't really got anything negative to say though. They showed off Ermac, and then they went on to birthday shoutouts. You all know how I feel about Derek doing birthday shoutouts. It's one of the most insufferable segments of the Kombat Kast. It seems like a monumental waste of time, and it seems like time that could be better spent informing players on things that are coming up and things that are going to be in the patch. They then showed off Movado. And this is where my problem occurred with the Kombat Kast. And again, this is an assumption that I made. In the Ermac trailer, it almost looks like there is some sort of push block or some sort of new mechanic that is coming to the game. And I think that's the assumption that a lot of people had. Well, it turns out this is just something that is exclusive to Movado. Apparently when you flawless block and Movado is your cameo, he like pushes you away, does a little bit of damage. I'm not entirely sure, but the point is that it's not a universal mechanic. It's something that is tied behind Movado. Now, I was under the impression that MK1 was going to be going under some sort of drastic change to remove itself from its previous iterations. This does not appear to be the case. It seems like it's the same old MK1, now just has a better character in it, that being Ermac. And this is when my disappointment really set in. I thought with the inclusion of Ermac, they were going to be beefing everybody up significantly and changing the mechanics. Now, there has been new moves added to some characters, not all characters, but there has not been any mention of new mechanics or new ways to play the game. This is really where my disappointment stems from. And I'm not sure why I'm surprised. I shouldn't be at this point. This is NRS we're talking about. I always give them the benefit of the doubt because I grew up loving Mortal Kombat. And I really went into this Kombat Kast with an open mind thinking, okay, they're going to show us some new mechanics. After everything I've said, I'll give them a chance. Let's hear what they have to say. And as I said, props for the Ermac design. That's what it looks like when you fully design a character. Again, put them side by side with characters like Scorpion or Sub-Zero and it is night and day. But this is still Mortal Kombat 1. So for all the people that were asking me, what do you think of Ermac after the Kombat Kast? Will you be coming back to Mortal Kombat 1? The answer is absolutely not. One character, no, let me rephrase that. No character can save this game in my opinion. There are no amounts of DLC characters they can add to this game to save it. What I was interested in is new mechanics, new core mechanics being added to this game. That's just my opinion. If you don't agree, that's completely fine. As I said, I'm not here to ruin your day if you're high on Ermac. That's just something that I was looking forward to personally, and it's not something that they've done. So the game is going to largely remain the same. It's just now got a very interesting character in Ermac. But as I said earlier, they did add some new moves to some characters. Now, because they wanted to spend their time doing stupid and useless things like birthday shoutouts, we don't actually know how many characters have new things, but we do know that Rain, Reptile, and Scorpion have new attacks. Now, we've seen Reptile's new attack in his trailer. You see it in this Kombat Kast. However, I went over to Twitter and the Thinny had a video on his page. I'm not entirely sure if he retweeted it or if he uploaded it himself. I can't remember. But there was a video of Scorpion and Scorpion got a new string. And I thought to myself, oh, interesting. Okay, let's see what this string is all about. Maybe it's going to be something really cool that changes the way he plays completely. It is the most throwaway, boring thing I've ever seen in my life. Is literally, it went from a knee to an uppercut to a knee to a kick to the face. And it looks like you can special cancel. I don't know if you can special cancel it into spear. I don't know if you can special cancel it into teleport. We know you can special cancel it into that demon dash thing he does. And I'm sure that you can bring a cameo in some way to extend that. But to say that that is a disappointing inclusion to Scorpion would be an understatement. It would truly be an understatement. That is all that you gave the character. The character was already boring, and that is the best that you could muster. And then there was also an update to Rain. He seems to have received one of his MK11 moves. I believe the string is back 3-2 or back 3-1. I don't know, I'm not a Rain player. That's what it looks like to me, where he kicks you low and then he punches you high. Now, I'm not saying that these moves are not going to be viable. That's not what I'm saying. These moves could be very viable. They could make the characters much stronger. But in terms of excitement, I don't think any Scorpion players are looking at that going, wow, look at that move. I really want to try that move. I don't think anybody's doing that. And if anybody is, your bar of acceptance is extremely low. I hate to break it to you, and I don't mean to sound rude either. That's just my opinion. Your bar of acceptance must be astronomically low. I couldn't believe it when I was seeing it. Now again, because they decided to spend some time in the Kombat Kast talking about things that are once again useless, we don't actually know if every single character has received a new move. I believe they haven't. I believe there's a select number of characters that have received them. I'm going off an assumption. I'm more than happy to be proven wrong. I would like to be proven wrong. It would be nice to see the characters with new moves, because maybe it is just Scorpion that got a very boring attack, but I highly doubt it. I highly doubt there's going to be new special moves either. Movado is an interesting cameo, but again, the inclusions of these characters and the minor changes that are happening here and there are just too few and far between, in my opinion. Now, if you're already a fan of MK1, this is just going to be better for you. I'm under that assumption anyway. It might not be. Maybe you're going to be a bit disappointed disappointed that your character didn't receive new moves. It would suck if half the cast got them and half the cast didn't, because then it's like, well, we feel like we're playing an older game and these people are all excited to try out their new moves. It seems a bit underwhelming to me. Now, like I said, Ermac looks like a complete character. A lot of us were saying that this game needed 6 or 7 more months to develop. Ermac kind of proves that. He has been released, even though it looks like he was meant to be base roster. He's been released now and he looks like a fully complete character, and as I said, props to NRS for Ermac. He looks wicked. I hope people enjoy him. I really do. I don't want to rain on anyone's parade. Me personally, this Kombat Kast was again poorly constructed. I don't think they understand what people want. Maybe this is just me talking, but I would like them to spend more time exploring the game and potentially new mechanics and new moves if we ever do get those, but we've certainly got new moves. They didn't really spend any time talking about that in the Kombat Kast. I would like them to spend a lot more time doing that. If you have to make the Kombat Kast an hour long so that you can fit everything in, so you can have your silly birthday shoutouts, then by all means do that. But you need to spend more time informing people of these new moves, of their properties, of their applications, so we can really get invested. The Kombat Kast is for the people that are really tuned into Mortal Kombat. It's not for the casual crowd. The casual crowd don't watch them. You can cross-reference the numbers between the Kombat Kast and trailers. The trailers, you can clearly see that goes out to the wider audience. Every Tom, Dick and Harry watches a Mortal Kombat trailer. Mortal Kombat games do very well on the trailer front. If you then look at the Kombat Kast, the numbers are much lower because that is the core player base that is watching you. And if you know that, then why the hell are you doing birthday showers? Why are you taking so long to get to the real nugget of information that we're looking for? Zero in on your audience and provide them with the information they want. Don't just leave them high and dry waiting. You know people are very excited to get updates of this game because this game has been down bad for a long time. At least that's what I think anyway. If I was running up the Kombat Kast, it would be all about the intricacies of the updates with reference to gameplay. You can touch on invasions, obviously, you've put it in the game, people want to know. I'm sure there's like 2 people still playing it, they're going to want to know what the updates are, but the bulk of it needs to be spent on the gameplay and it needs to be extended. It's not enough in my opinion. I think you sell your player base a little bit short when you do them. People are always excited to see the Kombat Kast and they're always very, very underwhelming. That's just my opinion. Once again, Ermac looks fantastic, but unfortunately he's an awesome character in a crappy game. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think I'm being fair to Mortal Kombat 1? Was you expecting new mechanics, or are you okay with the state the game is in with the inclusion of Ermac? I'd like to hear from you guys. Anyways people, I hope you all stay blessed. I hope you're safe out there and I'll catch you very soon. Take care. Peace.